Every artist you admire have one thing in common, and that is not talent, it's volume. The reps you never see. That's why I'm committing to 100 days of posting my art, my music. When I say volume, I'm not talking about noise. I'm talking about devotion. Think about Picasso. Picasso didn't become Picasso because he was waiting for permission or waited for that masterpiece of his. He became Picasso because he worked a lot. Thousands of sketches, experiments, versions, faces, you name it. And the thing is, the most that he created, the world never celebrated. But he wasn't letting outside validation stop him. I'm not saying that he never felt discouraged. I don't know about that, but he didn't let it stop him. And that's the same with social media today. Just because you don't get views, don't let it discourage you. If no one saw it, no one saw it. You are just Picasso, working on that next step, that next piece that will lead you to that masterpiece of yours. The thing is, we romanticize the idea of successful people. Yeah, we all love those overnight story successes, but we forget about the repetition behind it. The overnight probably was 10 years or maybe 20 years or even longer. But the thing is, mastery isn't a moment, it's a pattern. And to shut up that egoic voice of yours, volume isn't the opposite of artistry, it's the path to it. And let that guide you. Shut up that ego voice of yours is keeping you within constraints anyway. All those fears, limiting beliefs, fear and failures, and so on and so on. So just shut it up. And from Picasso to the modern world, today our sketchbooks are digital, our studio is on our phones, and our repetition happens in public. And posting isn't selling out, it's showing up for your work. For the work. Social media is an asset if you allow it, get the leverage of it. So I am not committing to virality. I am committing to volume. And 100 Day is not about blowing up. It's about showing up and building trust to myself, but also create space for the things that I want more place of in my life, the music, and create space to explore and have fun with different creative outlets. And when you set a commitment like this, there's one thing that matters more than results, your intention. And remember that your intention, that is your emotional connection, and your intention, your emotional why, can have different layers tied to it, and the layers can expand. And the one or the other isn't more right, but it allows you to operate through them and apply the one that serves you the most, the one that actually makes you show up for yourself, the bigger goal. The life you want to create for yourself. So intention can be, because the reason I want to mention intention is because it's so easy if we set a commitment goal and we're like, yeah, I want to grow on social media to show my music or show my art. And that became like an obsession and you forget your why a couple of days in and you feel discouraged and maybe a little bit embarrassed or cringe or whatever. Then having different varieties, different directions of why, different emotional levels, like gaining confidence speaking in front of the camera, working on your filming angles, how to shoot different type of footage or filming or videos, honoring the promise to yourself. A commitment goal can very much be about putting yourself first, knowing that you matter in your life, and to show up for that, that is the manifestation of that. And it's also about creating a space where you learn about and discover what you like to create, because the thing is, often when we do not get out of the zone of our comfort, there are just ideas. But once we start going, that's when we discover, okay, this is something that I would like to do more of. Okay, this is something that maybe is a little fun, but it's too time consuming. For me, that is exactly what happened. I love to work with visuals, but I realized that it takes too much of my time making, canvas or whatever. This is the way that I love to create the most, at least for now. This is what I emotionally, this is my vibe. to just speak freely. And that is something that you don't discover if you don't allow yourself to commit to that process, to commit to create that space for yourself. And also, the intention should and must be letting your art exist and be expressed without permission. You don't need permission from anyone, especially not that ego of yours. And I also just want to mention a few things about that emotional connection. The emotional alignment, that high frequency, is consistent. It's not motivation. The emotion, when you act on it, that's when you start to create motivation. And those two combined is what will keep you going. When your intentions start to be really emotional and inner aligned, the algorithm stops to be the boss. So stop asking yourself, is this good enough? And start asking yourself, that does this exploration make me feel aligned? Does this pushing through the barrier of comfort makes me grow and gain new skills, talents, confidence? So if you got touched by any of this, that is a quiet pull to release what you've been holding. And maybe it's not about the content, it's about letting your art breathe, letting your art be expressed where it can come to love, where it can come to life while you are releasing it, and then you can move on to the next phase in your learning curve. So if you want to do this together, subscribe to the channel, and I also left a free checklist for you in the description box below to help you stay grounded for those 100 days. And I'm not here to be seen once, I'm here to show up repeatedly. See you tomorrow if you're up for the challenge.